You are very welcome to this video. I want to start by thanking Dr. John Campbell for kindly amplifying the last video on this channel, which was an important message about the link between long COVID, something that we're seeing a lot of in different countries that have let the virus go relatively free, and a condition called myalgic encephalomyelitis, which we also sometimes call chronic fatigue syndrome, although it's not a great name for it. And the reason I'm so grateful to John for amplifying this message is that while ME is a really important condition anyway, it's a grossly underfunded condition. It's a condition that is one of the most disabling and suffering-inducing non-fatal conditions on earth. The most severe patients can't talk, can't walk, have to be fed intravenously in some cases. So it's not just a condition that's sort of maligned and misunderstood and neglected. It's also the case that the number of people with ME will probably be significantly increasing as a result of the spread of COVID in those countries that have let cases rise to particularly high numbers over a period of time. So now is the time to speak about this. But there's of course also a personal reason to speak about this on this channel. And that's because some of you who have been regulars here have talked with me about the issues of cultural moment that we discuss on this channel. This is a channel which is really about where are human beings going this century and what are the most important crises and challenges we're facing. And that really does range across politics, culture, the arts. We talk about the problems we're running into in, the way we interpret Beethoven and the way we advocate for climate policy. This makes sense because we take a philosophical perspective on this and try to be very calm and sober, but also truthful and hopeful in the way we tackle issues without trying to put on rose-tinted glasses. But while this is most of what we talk about, I would love us to get to know each other more. And one of the things that's really important in my life is that I do live with this disability. And therefore, it's a real pleasure to share a little bit of the behind the scenes of what happens when I'm not sitting in this chair and talking to you about the culture wars or about the rise of the right or about identity politics. So sharing a little bit more of the behind the scenes of my life is really, really, I feel, important for this channel. So it's not just that there's a real pressing social need to talk about this condition at this point more than at any other point. It's also that I'd love us to continue our conversation, continue connecting. I'm going to keep on sharing other aspects of my life behind the scenes as we keep having the important conversations about where our world is going. So at this point, I'm going to link up just 2 or 3 sample episodes of my diary about living with ME, about living with this condition. And it's super relevant, not just to anyone who is regular on this channel, because I want to develop a relationship with you, but it's also relevant to anybody who is exploring the consequences of the pandemic and the potential links between long COVID and the condition myalgic encephalomyelitis. Some of these things will be really quite straightforward, what it's like to physically experience something. Some of them will be more complex and discuss how health politics works in society. I hope you enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming videos in the next week or 2 about classical music, Russian literature, politics, our usual stuff. Take really good care. Bye-bye for now. A minority of ME patients can't tolerate any human interaction. Another minority can tolerate quite a lot and can operate in their lives quarter-time to part-time. But most people are in the middle. And what these people in the middle typically experience is this feeling of not being seen, not being understood when they come up for air and when they socialize. Because that looks like the default situation to the person they're interacting with, but to them it's an exceptional situation. It's not something they're able to do most of the time, and it's not something they're able to do on demand. So you can feel a bit like being stuck under the ocean, not knowing when you're going to come up, and then you come up and you're treated as though you were never under the ocean. And when you mention the ocean, you're told, well, you know, the whole water thing, I've also got issues with it. You know, my sink leaked last month and my bath is a little bit dodgy. So, you know, I relate. Everyone gets tired. And you say, yeah. And you probably just let it go. And then eventually you're taken back under the water and you don't know what will happen next. What we typically call mild ME is just not mild at all. I have a few friends with mild ME, and forgetting that there's a pandemic going on, I can tell you what that looks like. Hi, you want to meet for a cup of tea this week? Maybe like in a cafe 5 minutes around the corner from where you live? Okay, great. At 12:30 on Tuesday. Wonderful. Oh, hi, it's 12:30 on Tuesday. You're here. It's wonderful to see you. Now it's 12:55, 25 minutes later, and you're really waning. Do you want to go back, or do you want to just kind of push through and pump yourself up and crash even more later? You know what, we haven't seen each other for a long time, so stay another 45 minutes. Okay, let's do it. Fantastic. Now it's the next day. How are you feeling? Oh, excellent. Nothing's bad. Nothing bad's happening to me, but you know, obviously I'm just crashing from yesterday, and I'll be crashing tomorrow as well. Now that's what people would call the lighter end of moderate or even mild ME, and that's actually a situation where somebody has lost most of their life. When a person with ME is resting, they're not relaxing, they're not taking a break, they're engaged in a positive activity, a demanding activity, and they're doing something very special and very important. They're not a boat in the bay with the anchor down, with the sail down, taking a break. No, their sails are up and they're out in open water. Resting is a positive, a demanding, everyday response to extraordinary life conditions. So it's important that people without ME understand that these folks are not having a little break. In fact, they are doing a daily ritual that goes to the core of what it means to be a human being going through an extraordinary predicament. A central feature of the modern world is compartmentalization of knowledge. It's ubiquitous, and moreover, it's going to get worse as our societies become even less good at stabilizing around a shared set of facts. So when an ME patient encounters some kind of folks online, maybe psychiatrists, who say, well, ME benefits from GET and graded exercise therapy, and I think of ME on the Oxford definition, which is just being really, really tired for a long time. This is not some kind of special evil or specially concocted maliciousness coming your way. All that's coming your way is a completely generic phenomenon that's all over the place in our society. It just happens to take a harmful form and a rather intense form, intensified form, and you happen to be on the wrong end of it, badly. And me too. So that's it. Moreover, these people who are wrong about this are also on the wrong end of it. They are out of touch with the literature. The scientific research has for decades shown that their ideas of GET and CBT don't make any sense. No real expert in ME agrees with them, whether they're a researcher or clinician. But they go on. And they very badly ethically taint themselves by being stuck in this. Often they are stuck in this in a contrived and manipulative way. So somebody like Simon Wesley is half aware that they are not behaving nicely and half unaware. Interesting conversation for another time. But some of these folks are actually innocent. They're just benignly caught up in this compartmentalization of knowledge, and it is their ethical bad luck that they're doing harm. And it's our bad luck that we're on the wrong end of this harm. In medical research, however, the good news is that this is not as slow as it may be, eventually releases. Thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you thought, and keep safe and see you soon.